I'm thinking maybe I'll start a little tiny desk series of my own where I just go Acapulco, no music in the background, and just sing from my heart to you. Okay, or not. Let me see. This is my first time doing this at the desk, checking the light, check everything. I don't love the AC things in there, but we're gonna go with what we have. We're appreciative for what we have. Okay, y'all, this is an important one. Good morning, happy huddle. Okay, let's get into it. So I've been setting backyard dog racing league. Welcome in. Mwah! Big kisses, y'all. If you want to have some fun, some good, clean, competitive, red-blooded, American furry fun, check out Backyard Dog Racing League. They have a really cool pet competition. Your dog too could race for the title. So check that out. I'm happy you're here. Oh, speaking of happy, healthy hair riddles in the freaky house. What's up, baby girl? Mwah. Big kisses to you. Yes, 100 is right. Hut it. Run it. Okay, so I'm going to talk to y'all today. I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. Some of us are out here in these planet Earth streets choosing violence against ourselves. Maybe we know we're doing it. Maybe we're in denial. Maybe we didn't realize it had got that serious, but it had gotten that serious. It's that serious. I have to do my lips like this. It's serious. Okay, it's serious. Which is why we're talking about it today. Thank you, girl. She said, like the video. Yeah, if y'all can hit the little, tap the screen and get the little hearts going, that would be appreciated. Like the video. Y'all, we have over 300 subscribers. Like, I think the last time I saw is like 315 subscribers. So we are comfortably, thank you for the hearts. We are comfortably over the 300 subscriber mark. Now, I think there's a whole host of things that happen once we get, I don't know if it's 1,000 subscribers or 1,000 watch hours. I don't know. You and I are in this together. We're here every single Sunday to talk about your health. So let me do my normal intro, which is, this is Healthy Habits Huddle. This is your place. You can come every single Sunday, same YouTube channel, same time. It's 10 o'clock Los Angeles time, which is 1 p.m. East Coast time here in the U.S. And then wherever you are, whatever time that means, morning, afternoon, evening, middle of the night, I don't know, wherever you are on this gorgeous planet, we're here consistently. So this is just for you. This is just a little weekly meetup that I do so you have a place to come to think about your health. And I always encourage y'all, as soon as I'm done talking, I don't talk long, but as soon as I'm done talking, take some time for you to think about your health, to think about what you're doing right and what you want to underscore more, what you could be doing better, what you can do this week, what you can do today. Even if it's just to take a few minutes to breathe deep from your belly, because you're always breathing from your chest because you're too stressed out in life. And stress is going to be an important part of what we talk about today. So we've got Yana! Yay, Yana, good morning, my love. Happy days. Hi, Greg. Thank you so much for being here. All right. I'm sorry, I only speak English, Mr. Sarav, but thank you for being here and for chatting with us. Okay. Y'all, so the thing that I wanted to talk about today, I'm doing well, my love. So what we're talking about today, y'all, why I said I think some of y'all are out here in these streets choosing violence. Thank you for the hearts. Choosing violence against yourself, which hopefully after this talk today, and you take a couple minutes when we're done here and to think about how you can improve how you're treating yourself. The reason why I say you're choosing violence, y'all, is because we out here in these streets, some of us are out here in these streets overdoing the sugar. We're overdoing the things that spike our insulin. So insulin is a fat storage hormone, and we're not talking just about aesthetics today. This is not about you need to lose weight. This is about something far more serious. So Lindell, yes, baby, welcome in. Always glad to see you. I'm from Los Angeles. I'm good, baby. Thank y'all for being here. Stick around, y'all. This is going to be a really important one for everybody. So why I said we're choosing violence, we might not know it. We're out here in these streets, we're having soda, we're having sugar, we're addicted to these substances. You know, they make them addictive so they can make their money. It's all is fair in love and war, but they don't play fair in these big food streets. So we got to take care of ourselves. So I'm going to give you some information today that you may not know about what happens when we get our insulin too high. So anybody who's had insulin resistance or metabolic syndrome, or somebody in their family who has diabetes, or maybe you've experienced something like that. That's when the insulin is too high for too long. Insulin is a hormone. If it's too high for too long, it creates a cascade of problems in the body. So one of the things that we can do to bring to put ourselves in the danger zone that I'm going to talk about today is too much sugar. Keeping when we have sugar, when we have simple carbs, we have that kind of stuff in the bloodstream, it changes the condition of the blood, and the body can't let that happen. So the body pulls all those sugars out of the bloodstream to keep us healthy, and then stores them as fat. So the hormone that is mostly in charge of that is insulin. So when insulin is really high, it can be a problem for a long time. So that's one of the things that we do. And the second component that we're doing out here and eating too often, so the insulin levels are always staying high and they never get to come back down, also a problem. The second piece though, after insulin, the second hormone that we're out here having a problem with, and this is going to be a really tough one for a lot of us, cortisol. Why is that a tough one? Because stress. Why is that a tough one? Because lifestyle. A lot of times we are out here choosing to stress ourselves out. A lot of times we're stressed out and it's not by choice. It's like our life is just stressful and we haven't figured out yet or realized yet that we need to make changes to bring the stress level down. Why? Not just so that you have a better mental space and a more enjoyable life, but for your health, for your physical body. So cortisol is a stress hormone that all of our hormones are powerful, but cortisol is a stress hormone that has, working in conjunction with insulin, a really, really negative effect on our viscera. Who knows what viscera is? Anybody know what viscera is? Hi, everybody who's saying hi. Los Angeles, California, United States. Thank you, Avendu. How are you? How are you? How are you? All right, so anybody know what the viscera is in the body? If Daniela's in here, I know she knows. All right, I will tell you. I'm glad you have no mental stress, baby. That's good. Okay, so the viscera is like our organs. So what happens when we get too much cortisol and too much insulin is in our body for a long time, and this is just the daily choices that we're making. I'm gonna tell you how to get out of it in a second, but the daily choices that we're making, we can start to store fat. I do not know Hindi, baby, I'm sorry. We can start to store fat around our viscera. Our viscera are our organs. So you think, who cares, right? We store fat in our belly, we store fat in our thighs, we store fat all over our body. No! Two different types of fat. What? Yeah, there are multiple different kinds of fat. So two different types of fat we're talking about. The type of fat that people usually talk about is subcutaneous fat. It's the fat that's all over our body, right? And the type of fat we're talking about today that comes from choosing violence, keeping the insulin too high, alcohol can bring your insulin up, sugar can bring your insulin up, a lot of different things like that can bring your insulin levels really high. Just eating too much, even, I think I even heard that even too much protein, it turns to glucose or something in the body and that can raise the insulin level. So we got to really watch it. But the insulin getting high and the cortisol getting high together, that is a cocktail for creating a different kind of fat, which is visceral fat. So visceral fat is fat that the body creates around the organs. So it's like, well, okay, there's fat around the organs. Why is that a big deal? It's a chemical mess. It is a signaling chemical mess. So they've discovered that fat itself, adipose tissue around the body, is like hormone-like. It signals, it sends messages to the rest of the body. Well, not only does all of the subcutaneous fat around the body do that, but the visceral fat does that. And I'm gonna read a little analogy about this. Okay, if I can find it here in my notes that I took for y'all. Visceral fat is, that's not the analogy I wanted. It's like a toxic smoke factory ruining the quality of the air in the neighborhood. That's what visceral fat is like. It sits around your organs and starts signaling and sending out basically like negative messaging to all your organs and all this kind of stuff. Y'all, it is extremely, extremely dangerous, and it can be challenging to lose because you have to change habits in order to lose it. But I'm gonna tell you the things to do. I'm gonna tell you ways to get out of this. You do not want your visceral fat high. If you're a person who says, wow, you know, I'm a little thick in the middle, but it's not soft fat, it's like, it's hard, like I have like you know, there's not like a big fat layer that's jiggly, it's like, you know, it's just firm, my midsection is just kind of big and firm. That could potentially be an indicator that you have a ton of visceral fat in there, you know, just packed around your organs, bringing your waistline a little bit out, but not giving that subcutaneous jiggly fat. So let's talk about how to, namaste babes, let's talk about how to get out of this. So all right, so talk about some goals. We're gonna lower our fat storage hormones. We're gonna burn through the fat, the fuel that we have in our liver first, and we're gonna bring down our chronic stress and do some metabolic flexibility, teach our body some metabolic flexibility. And that basically means doing some intense workout a couple of times a week for short durations, just so the body knows like, hey, it can get this intense and you need to be ready for it. All right, I'm not gonna talk long today, but let me tell you how to get yourself out of the situation, how to close down that toxic factory, stop sending those terrible signals to the rest of the body, stop poisoning ourselves, stop choosing violence. So I'm gonna tell you the habits now. So I said lower insulin spikes. How can you lower insulin spikes in your life? So first of all, y'all know, don't be out here drinking sodas. Don't be out here doing all the sugar and all that stuff. If you have a problem stopping that, you got to really deal with it as an addiction. I used to have a big sugar addiction. I would eat donuts and candy and this and that. Literally, this is gonna sound vulgar, I'm sorry. Literally until I would vomit. Like I would just get so into the sugar thing. I would eat it. And sometimes it would make me physically sick. And then I'd be like, oh, that was too much. And then start again. That is an addiction, ladies and gentlemen. I don't have that problem anymore. And I want you, if you are in that situation, you're like, oh my God, the sugars just got me in a chokehold, baby, you can get over it. So just be inspired. Just know that it's not forever, but we got to deal with it. So, okay, we're going to lower our insulin spikes. One way, of course, leave all the sugar and the alcohol and all those things alone. He said, bro, this is disturbing. Backyard says, off switch to using agave as my sweetener now rather than sugar. Excellent. Making substitutions like that. That's awesome, babe. I'm happy to hear that. Anybody else have, how many kids do I have? Are you offering to give me some of yours? I'm not certain what that question is about. Okay. So one thing we can do, and this is interesting, eating your protein and your vegetables, so fiber and protein, if you eat that first when you have a meal, that is gonna help the insulin levels not to spike as much. So if you just eat a donut, just eat a donut, your insulin levels are gonna just shoot up because it's just straight sugar and there's nothing there to buffer it. But if you have protein, you have veggies, even fat can like slow down the metabolism of the sugars and that kind of thing. So just changing the order in which you eat stuff. Eating meals instead of just grazing all day long will give you a chance. You eat a meal, your insulin's gonna go up a bit, hopefully not too much, and then it's gonna slowly come back down as you use up that fuel that you put into your body. And again, keeping the sweets and refined carbs as an occasional thing, not an all the time thing. Luxury manifest. My Cash App is Healthy Habits Huddle. Good luck there. Okay, lower chronic stress is the next one. So this is it. We're going to bring the cortisol down. So we talked about how to bring the insulin down a little bit. We're going to bring the cortisol down. 7 to 9 hours of sleep, average kind of prescription. Figure out how much, get enough sleep. If you can get enough sleep, don't be up just watching Netflix or scrolling on your phone or doing things that are keeping you from resting. You got to really try to have a little discipline around your sleep hygiene if you can. What about just not eating? You can do that for a little while, sweetheart. You can do that for a little while, but I don't think it's a long-term solution. And then so also to lower your cortisol, take short daily breaks for breathing, get out in nature, laugh. If you're going to be watching videos, don't sit there and stress out about what's going on, politics and all kinds of stuff you can't control. Find something funny to watch online. If you're going to be scrolling, scroll for your health, okay? Scroll for your health, scroll for inspirational messaging, scroll for something like that. And if you have to even schedule downtime, like if you're one of those people like I'm in school and I'm working and I've got family and I've got this and I've got that, maybe you need to schedule downtime where you turn off your phone, you don't commit to anything, and you just relax, that kind of thing. Okay, so we've lowered our insulin spikes, we've lowered our chronic stress, and then we want to use up our liver fuel regularly. So how do we do that? Every day, don't eat late at night. Get 12 to 14 hours, depending on you. Like have some hours at night where you're not eating at all. So when you go to sleep, so before you go to sleep, a couple hours, 2-3 hours before you go to sleep, maybe you're not eating. And then you get a full night's sleep. So all that time before sleep and after sleep when you're not eating, your body gets a chance to use up the fuel that it has already stored in the liver and stuff like that. And your insulin levels automatically will be down. And then you got to give your body reasons to burn fat. So 2 to 3 short bursts of intense exercise each week. Now I got to stop you here. If you have not been exercising, don't jump out and try to do, high intensity interval training and sprinting around a track. That's not for you yet. You got to work up to that. But if you do have a place where you can do, even if something small as air squats, you just stand up and like do kind of like squats or something like that. If you can find a rowing machine, if you're not super athletic yet and your joints might be giving you problems, whatever, just do something a little bit intense for a little bit. 2 to 3 short bursts, 2 to 3 times a week. And then of course, we always like to walk. Walking daily can help. They recommend 8 to 10,000 steps, but that is debated. And lastly, you want to support your body's fat burning chemistry by getting enough protein, magnesium, omega-3s, and again, down with the sugary drinks and snacks, because you want to change your body over from storage mode to burning mode. And that is going to help you. Those are some tips that are going to help you keep your visceral fat down. Now, how do you know if you have it? This is the last thing I'm going to talk about. How do you know if you have visceral fat? If you have high blood pressure, if you have if you've been told that you have risk for heart attack, stroke, diabetes, fatty liver, any of those things, that can be an indicator that you've got this visceral fat. Now, there are ways to actually tell exactly how much visceral fat you have. You can go get a DEXA, D-E-X-A. You can go to get a DEXA scan, and they'll scan your body, and they'll tell you exactly like how much you have. I have had this done in the past, and my visceral fat, luckily, at the time was very low. I was thankful for that. So you can have low visceral fat and have higher body fat. That also can happen. So it's better to have low visceral fat and higher body fat if you have to pick than to have high visceral fat and low body fat. I think that's one of those things. You could be skinny fat in that way as well. But if you don't have access to a DEXA scan, or you don't want to spend, I think it was like $100 or something when I did it, you can just divide, you can measure around your waist and divide your waist measurement by your height. So if you're 66 inches tall, then your waist should be like half of that or less, so 33 inches or less. So again, I'll say that again, your waist to height ratio. So take your height in inches and divide it by 2, and your waist circumference, they're saying, should be smaller than that, than half of your height. That is one way to do it. And they said, honestly, if you do carry weight around your midsection and it's not the jiggly fat, it's the hard fat, babe, then that could be an indicator that that's what you've got going on. But again, within a few weeks of changing some habits, bringing that insulin down, bringing that cortisol down, you too can have your viscera fat-free. That toxic, chemical, nasty signaling that's going on from all that fat around your organs can go away, and you can be on your way to healthier, happier lifestyle. So take a few minutes. I'm done talking. Take a few minutes. I've only been talking for like 15, 17 minutes. Take 5 minutes. Take 10 minutes. Take to the half hour. Take to the hour. Think about your health. Write something down. Get a little health journal going. And use this little club here as your place that you can come every week and check back in with your health and maybe learn something. Thank you, Herbal. Thank you so much, baby. Thank you for being here. Melanie! Yes! So helpful. Thank you, A. Love you and appreciate you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Not as much as I love you, girl. Yana, love it. Mwah, love you. So helpful. Happy days, and I'm happy to hear it. Let's see here. Very, very good. All right, I love y'all. Have a beautiful Sunday. Be healthy. We'll be back here at the same time next week, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, and whatever time that means for you around the world. Stay healthy. Until then, my love, stay healthy. Mwah.